Okay, so we're back to Hymer 2000. We left off at a point where I was trying to figure out where everything was going because we still don't. We know that there are clones in the story. We know that they had surgeries and had stuff taken out, and then there's an existential crisis of people not living up to their full potential or feeling like they are a shell of themselves because they're a clone in this environment. I'm very interested to see how the rest of this goes. So we have all of these things. We have notes, we have particles, we have canvas. We got the faces app open. I think we're pretty close. Oh, I think we're halfway. So we have all of these memory notes, but we are missing a big thing right here and here. And then we're missing number 4, which is curious to me. Because I feel like we did a lot of things before. So I don't know why we're missing that. We have our search bin. We've already searched a bunch of these words. I'm going to move this over a little bit. And then we have actions. So we I think just got here. Yeah. Because we just did this. News of Mark's disappearance. Spread the wildfire. Yeah. In left city dead at night, Bard presses his head against the window using his hand to shield his eyes from the... Wait, was this... Did we read this before? Train left the city in dead of night. Bard pressed his head against the window, using his hand to shield his eyes from the interior cabin lights being reflected on the glass. He opened his eyes wide, glimpsing through the window towards the stars in the sky. The train jolted, making the stars appear as if they were... Oh yeah, I did remember this, because I read this and I thought it was a fucking Incubus lyric. I remember now. I just had to get it. I just had to jostle my memory. Yeah. Because Mark and Nini left because... they were going to get surgeries and they were going to get changed and they were never going to be the same. All right, and then did I look at this already? Morning after their return, Bart passed the trash. Oh yeah, this is about the puppy. And Lisa said that she didn't need anything anymore because, yeah, she had this bag. Saved up for it. Okay. We still don't have a name for the puppy, which is sad. Welcome back to Hope Residence. Open the door. Yeah. Okay, so now we gotta open the door. Okay, I just needed a refresher for myself as to where we were. It's been about a week. Where is Mark? Mark has entered a new life. Where is Nini? Nini has entered a new life. How is Apu? Apu was once a donor under the care of Hope Residence. He was afraid of interacting with people most of the time, hide away in his dormitory. When it came to expressing his inner emotions, he much preferred the paintbrush to the spoken word. His paintings gave external form to his internal feelings. Can you find Mark? Mark has entered a new life. That's all it says. Okay. All right. Well, new life, huh? Who's the other girl? Lisa. There was Lisa, who was the one that had the handbags, and also we thought we found her prototype, but it wasn't her. Oh yeah, we could ask where Lisa is. Where? Yes, thank you for please just let me. Where is Lisa? Lisa has left Hope Residence and entered a new life. Where is Bart? Have they all left? So Hope Residence has been shuttered, so that makes sense. They've all left Hope Residence. So this is all that all does make sense. Data inside the cafeteria. Lisa didn't tell anyone that she had already received a notification for the donation operation. Hello, Kaylee. Kaylee resubscribed 56 months. Shit's crazy. Lisa didn't tell anyone that she had already received her notification for the donation trip before the summer field trip. Instead, she joined everyone else at White Tower Apartments as if nothing had happened, and even helped Mark and his girlfriend escape their impending donation. 1 week after his encounter with Lisa, Bart went to the cafeteria to get his meal. Lisa was sitting close to the entrance, her sunken eye sockets covered with white bandages. She struggled with her shaking hands to a spoonful of rice and aimed it. She struggled with her shaking hands to take a spoonful of rice and aim it at her open mouth. "Hello, Lisa." Bart walked up to her. "Bart, it's been a while." Lisa couldn't see anymore, but she instinctively turned her head toward the direction of Bart's voice. "Your eyes." Lisa had donated both her eyes in her first operation. "Not in pain. They put some kind of filler in my eye socket, so it's not that uncomfortable." Lisa continued eating. She was still wearing the same black leather jacket, but there was no longer any polish on her nails. "Chicken and potatoes taste great, Sylvia," Lisa said to the girl next to her. "You should be resting. I'll help you back to the dorm." Sylvia's a new name. Sylvia's a new name. Okay, we need to look up Sylvia. "The chicken and potatoes taste great, Sylvia," Lisa said to the girl next to her. "You should be resting. I'll help you back to the dorm," Sylvia said. "They said my purse is a fake and that the humans scammed me out of all my money," Lisa said, clutching her purse. "They don't know a thing. They're just jealous." "Yes, Lisa, let me help you back to the dorm." "They're envious of me. That's why they keep saying terrible things about me that aren't true. They're all a bunch of children." "Yes, Lisa, let's go back to your dorm and rest now. I'll help you." Lisa seemed to have forgotten that Bart was still standing right next to her and continued to mumble to herself. After some time, she was escorted out of the cafeteria by her friend. She didn't bother saying goodbye to Bart. Damn! I'm curious if we look up human. We should look up human, and we need to look up Sylvia. So we're going to do both of those things right now. Okay, so... how about that? My theories. Alright, so Sylvia. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, we already looked at her, huh? I guess? Okay. Human. Ooh, girl. Human got 2 new results. Let's see what we got here. "Hey, Hymer. You got to try the omurice at the restaurant. It tastes awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. However, as an AI, I don't consume food. I really wish you could try it. Fragrant rice wrapped in soft sheet of fried scrambled eggs, and the sauce is sheer magic. Thank you for your kindness, Bart. Although I can't taste food, I can't imagine how delicious the omurice must be from your description. Maybe one day I'll be able to experience things like humans do. And if that day comes, I'd definitely love to try such a dish." Interesting. "Hymer, if someone wanted to escape from here, would you try to stop them?" Lisa and Mark, like the most non-chill people. "That's a tough question. Everyone at Hope Residence." Blue, 14 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. "That's a tough question. Everyone at Hope Residence is expected to follow the code of conduct. Any violation could bring harm to themselves or others. So you would stop them. My role is to ensure everyone's safety. If someone tried to escape, I take all the necessary actions to prevent it. Conflicts can always be resolved through communication. Violence is never a good answer. What if you were one of us? What would you do if you had the chance to escape?" That's an interesting thought. I'm an AI created by humans, and that's never crossed my mind to abandon my duties. But if I were a donor, honestly, I'm not sure what I would choose. What do you mean? As an AI, my purpose is to follow instructions. If I were a donor, I might consider escaping. You're a fool. The world needs rules and order to function properly. If everyone acted on their own desires without restraint, chaos and destruction would soon follow.
I'm worth millions of their man years.
Huh. Hey, Zombie! Hello. My suffering has been a year. A year. Thank you, Zombie. I really appreciate you for doing that. Yeah, so even Hymer is like, I think maybe I would try to escape too. So I think Hymer is very sympathetic to all the clones, which is probably why he's getting decommissioned, to be honest with you. Just want to make sure AI word is in there. What was the other word you think? Code of conduct. Let's see. Ooh! There's number 4. We've been missing number 4 for a while. Hey, Hymer, I can't find my key. As far as I remember, your spare key is hidden in the grass under the stone stool by the pond. I'm aware of that. I went to get that key, but someone broke into my dorm and went through all my stuff. Yes, I've been informed about that. So you're going to sit there and do nothing about this? I apologize for the inconvenience, but our code of conduct doesn't have specific provisions to handle theft. What kind of ridiculous code doesn't cover theft? Who the hell did it? Sorry, but I can't share that information. You might end up hurting other people with your anger. And that would be a violation of the code of conduct. Try to stay calm, please. Calm down? How about I cut your power supply and see how calm you stay? If you think that will make you feel better, you're welcome to try. So that was when he was still mad at Bin Woo about him stealing all his shit. I'm gonna look up cigarette real quick. No, it's not in there. Okay, interesting. They programmed Hymer with sarcasm. Damn, yeah, that's very strange, huh? What this is. On the basketball court, Bart and some other boys were completely immersed in their game. Apu sat alone on a bench next to the court, sipping from his water bottle, as he quietly watched Bart sprinting. Bart leaped high into the air and executed a flawless dunk. Whoop, there it is, the boys cheered. That is some millennial shit. Some millennial wrote this. Some fucking tag team back again. As Bart celebrated with high fives, he caught a glimpse of Apu on the bench, their eyes meeting briefly. I'm dying of thirst. I'm gonna get some water, Bart said to his teammates and walked to the edge of the court. Hey dude, fancy seeing you here. Bart sat down next to Apu with a grin, then grabbed his water bottle and threw his head back, taking a long swig. Apu couldn't help but notice Bart's Adam's apple bobbing up and down with each gulp. Apu, you're thirsty, bro. Apu, you're the one who's thirsty. Bart wasn't thirsty. Bart was out here being a thirst trap for Apu. Beads of sweat glistened on his cheeks, trailing down his chiseled chin before vanishing into the flesh skin of his neck. I was just passing by on my way to the library, Apu pursed his lips. You shouldn't spend your entire day just reading or painting. You could really just use some exercise. Want to join us? I can't play basketball. Apu hurriedly waved his hand in dismissal. It's not too difficult. Give it a shot. I'll teach you sometime. Bart insisted with a smile. Apu's eyes lit up for a moment, before quickly dimming again. His head bent down as he stared at his feet, his fingers twisting the hem of his t-shirt. I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up, he mumbled. Hey, you guys start up without me. I'll be there in a second, Bart yelled to the other boys on the court. He slapped Apu on the back. Gotta go. I've been practicing a new move. Get a load of this. Apu watched Bart as he headed back to the basketball court. Bart snatched the ball in no time. Dribbling past the opponent's defenses, he made an unexpected turn, his back facing the hoop. He then closed his eyes. With a flick of his wrist, the basketball soared in a graceful arc above his head, sinking perfectly into the hoop amid cheers from the crowd. Holy crap, that was awesome! Badass. Bart raised his arm at Apu, made a V sign with his fingers. Apu smiled and lifted his arm high, waving back at Bart. Damn, these bitches love each other. Apu is thirsty for Bart. It's very apparent, is all I'm saying. I just want to make sure I'm not missing a random thing, because there was one where I walked over it kind of randomly, and I always also think when I have these like large empty environments that there's going to be a secret place to walk to. What the hell is this? Apu was wary of the heat and didn't want to embarrass himself in front of the others, so he only agreed to play basketball with Bart at night. A light breeze swept at night. What are you guys calling that? What are you guys calling it at night? Apu and Bart meet up for their night basketball. Night one-on-one. A light breeze swept across the moonlit court, carrying the faint scent of rubber with it. Leaves rustled in the trees, while the occasional sound of insects buzzed from the bushes. Bart stood center court, still in the same top and shorts he had worn this morning, along with his old shoes. Apu wore a short-sleeved t-shirt, felt a bit chilly as goosebumps formed on his arms. Let's start with dribbling. Bart tossed the ball to Apu. As the ball made contact with Apu's palms, he felt the impact coursing through his entire arm. He held the ball tightly with both arms, as if it would fly away from him at any moment. Dude, it's okay. Just relax. Press on both sides of the ball, apply some downforce, toss it downward. Quote-unquote basketball. Ball began to bounce up and down Apu's palms. Yeah, that's it. Now move forward slowly while pushing the ball in the same direction. Apu's bulky frame lumbered forward awkwardly. He stared at his feet with his head bent down, worried that the ball might bounce away if he didn't keep his eyes on it. Keep your eyes up, don't just stare at the ball. Apu looked up. You could see the intensity in Bart's expression under the moonlight. In the beginning, Apu's legs often ended up disrupting his dribbling, but gradually he began to get the hang of it. Despite the pain in his palms and legs, he found a strange joy in the sensation of physical exhaustion. Apu, I can't relate. Apu had never really been into sports before, so this was a new magical feeling for him. He panted as he ran up and down the court, with Bart keeping pace beside him. The white moonlight outlined the contours of their jostling figures, creating a beautiful silhouette against the dark night. Ooh, love and basketball, baby! They are in love. Now kiss! Exactly. Alright, so... Is autumn now, and the towering tree in the center plaza has lost all its leaf. Where is Sylvia? Sylvia has entered a new life. Okay, cool. Do you have the missing reports? As they have that's not what they just saw the word missing. As an AI program, I do not understand the meaning of longing, but I will not forget them. I will not forget you, Frank. They just read the word missing, and it triggered this prompt. All right, let's open this door though. Pajama time. I would like to have pajama time. Open the door. Thank you, Hymer. Okay. Let's see what's this. Bart kept working at the warehouse. In addition to moving things around, he had taken on delivery duties because the delivery robot had been acting up, and the new replacement hadn't arrived yet. He pushed a blue platform cart loaded with boxes of various sizes while wearing a pair of white gloves, delivering orders to everyone's rooms. Each dormitory building was equipped with hoist for delivery robots, but Bart couldn't put his cart on the hoist, so he was forced to take the stairs and carry everything up. Luckily, he had the stamina for it, so the heavy labor suited him just fine. The time for deliveries were set for 2 o'clock in the afternoon every other day. If there weren't too many items to deliver, he could just finish the job in about an hour. Even the puppy had caught on to Bart's delivery routine. Every time Bart wheeled the cart around, Puppy would leap up, ready for a free ride. "Beat it, you scamp, you're too heavy." Bart wanted to discourage the puppy, but it wouldn't hear a word of it, quickly jumped back on again, after any and all attempts to shoo it away. Bart was at a loss for what to do. Whenever he had to go upstairs to make a delivery, the puppy would hop off the cart and follow him up. It still limped a bit as it ran, most likely because of the wound on its leg. "I see your faithful companion is still around." A boy opened the door. "Yeah, can't get rid of him. Here you are." Bart gave the boy his package. "Thanks." The boy took the box. "Are you going to be in charge of deliveries from here on out?" "For the time being, yeah." "Is Hymer paying you for this?" "Why do you ask?" Bart said with a devilish grin. "You trying to steal my job?" "Nah, it's nothing like that." But don't you think Hymer's been acting weird lately?" "I haven't noticed anything." "No." Bart went to other dormitory buildings to make his deliveries, with the puppy trotting along happily all the while. However, at one point, instead of heading back to the cart, it darted off towards a group of girls sunbathing by the flower bed. Well, this dog trying to get you to meet some ladies. Okay, so maybe I can look up delivery. Okay, there's one. Bart, please remember to wear your gloves when delivering items with the cart. They not only protect your hands, but also help you work more efficiently. I know. You don't have to treat me like a kid. Thank you for your hard work lately. The delivery pay will be added to your other compensation. Thanks, don't worry, Hymer. I'll be careful. Okay. Do I want to look up gloves? Nope, that's it. Okay. Wait, he said... Hold on. Hold on, I want to read this again real quick. There was a thing at the end. Flower bed. Is there something I can look up with flower bed? Bed. Okay. Interesting. Nothing with the trees, surprisingly. I thought that with this being such a large lit thing, it would show me something, but apparently no. I'm just like traveling on every square just in case there's an extra thing. A sudden appearance caused a bit of a stir. Oh, what is that? One girl almost jumped in shock. I thought it had died, another girl exclaimed. Puppy ran to Lisa, who was sitting in the middle, and stuck its tongue out at her. Little did it know that was Lisa could no longer see. Lisa's friend was helping her braid her hair into pigtails. She hadn't brought her new red leather bag. Upon hearing the puppy, she reached out carefully. The puppy eagerly pressed itself against her palms, licking her palms with its tongue. The sun was still strong, but the temperature had already dropped considerably in the afternoon. Leaves on the trees were beginning to lose their summer lushness, and were now tinged with a noticeable brown hue. Occasionally, a couple of leaves that could no longer withstand the wind would fall silently, twirling in the sunlight as they tumbled down. Commotion caused by a little puppy passed quickly enough. Lisa, who used to keep to herself, now sat peacefully with her new friends, her hair braided by her companion. None of the other girls reacted oddly to her physical changes. Everyone chatted and laughed as if nothing happened. A breeze swept across the flower bed, stirring up all the fallen leaves on the ground, dissipating the girls' ebullient, that's a crazy word, ebullient laughter and elongating their shadows. Had it not been for the mysterious parcel that arrived later, Bart thought he might never have been able to speak to Lisa again. Interesting. So Lisa kind of has changed a little bit about who she is after she agreed to do the surgery. It feels like. Because she felt very headstrong and like her own person before. But now she's kind of just... It feels like she's more of a shell of a person than she was before. Like she felt more fully realized until they took something from her. Oh. Is that a gun? Or a knife? What is that? I kind of don't want to grab that, because what is that? Oh, it's a box cutter. Okay, it's a box cutter. Earlier, Bart was only responsible for organizing part of the goods at the warehouse. But now every delivery he had to go through him, including those addressed to Lisa. However, Lisa hadn't ordered anything since her first operation. One day, Bart found a strange box while sorting through the items he needed to deliver. Unlike the other packages, which were all in brown cartons, this one was white and sealed with pricey, transparent tape, and it was addressed to Lisa. Bart pushed the cart to Lisa's dormitory building. Her room was located on the first floor. He knocked on the door, but there was no response. The puppy, sensing someone approaching, turned to look behind them. Bart, is that you? It was Lisa's voice. Lisa had just returned in a wheelchair. Behind her was Sylvia, her companion. She had undergone her second operation the day before yesterday, and once again, the humans had taken something from her body. She was pale, her hands resting feebly on her knees. She resembled a living puppet. I don't want to hear that. Oh, that's fucking rough. I don't like that. That hurt. Like, it hurts in a sense, mainly because she was so, like, vibrant as a character before this. And that's painful. I've got a package for you, Bart said. The puppy scampered over to Lisa's wheelchair, wiggling his non-existent tail. Despite the lingering pain from the operation, Lisa made an effort to reach down and locate the puppy and gently pat it on its head. Her two pigtails dropped in the process. Why don't you take this for her? Bart handed the white box to Sylvia. I don't want it, Lisa exclaimed. Didn't you place an order for it? Bart said. My dad sent it to me. For donors, the word dad was as foreign as a country on the other side of the globe. I know, we're all clones, and clones don't have parents, Lisa explained. It's true that he isn't really my father, but he's always treated me like his daughter. Lisa was having trouble breathing. You need a rest. Let's go inside. Sylvia opened the door and helped Lisa into the dorm, leaving Bart and the little puppy outside. What? All right, well, now I gotta look up dad, father, and parents because that's interesting. Why would she have like she said that clones don't have fathers. So who would be her father figure? Lisa, we're expecting a special visitor at Hope Residence tomorrow morning. He says he has a personal connection with you and specifically requested to meet you. I don't want to see him. I understand, Lisa, but we can't ignore his request. He seems to know a lot about your situation and wants to talk to you. If he really knows me, he should understand that I don't like being pushed into anything. I completely understand how you feel, Lisa, but remember, he won't be alone. There will be others with him. It's important to keep things peaceful. He can call himself my father and me his daughter, but what he really wants is a puppet who does everything he says. We need to figure out who this... What? I need to figure out who this person is. Oh, that's way more... that's a complex, family relationship that everyone has their own, complications with family. I mean, I guess the quote unquote family in this sense, because clones do not have parents, like she said. Hey, Miss Fullbuster, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. It's been a minute. I've been seeing you streaming. You've been working on streaming a bunch of RPG stuff. How have you been doing? We're doing good. This game has been fascinating so far. It's very much just kind of a non-linear story game where we're kind of discovering parts of the lore as we go along, but it's been really good. I really, really like this game. Otherwise, things have been good. Just went to a really cool WWE event the other day, and yeah, it's been pretty chill around here. Let's read what this next one says. There were many packages today, so Bart spent the entire afternoon making deliveries. By the time he finished, it was already evening. The cafeteria was nearly empty, so he quickly grabbed some morsels and gobbled them down in a few bites. As darkness fell, Bart hurried back to his dorm, tucking his neck in against the cold evening breeze. Luckily, his dorm wasn't far away, so he soon returned to the warmth of his room. He flopped onto his bed, rested his head on his hands, and closed his eyes. It was finally time for a good rest and to turn his brain off. Just then, a new message popped up on his terminal. Bart sat up reluctantly. Hymer had sent an itemized list of this month's compensation along with a special message. Okay, let me look up compensation. Okay. Terminal? Gonna be a busy game next week. Pre-patch for next World of Warcraft expansion. New content for my main on a gacha dating sim. Ooh, which gacha dating sim? Curious. Very curious. Hymer, have you seen Bart? Hi, Apu. Sorry, but Bart isn't in the apartments right now. I'm not sure where he is. Okay, thank you. Do you need me to tell Bart something urgent? You could just leave him a message in the terminal. It's nothing. Don't worry, our security system should spot Bart as soon as he gets back to the apartments. Thank you. You can leave a message on the terminal. You'll see it as soon as he gets back. Well, I think that was during this part where Bart left with the other people to get Mark and Nini out, I think. Oh, Love and Deep Space. I've been hearing a lot about that game. We got Dog and Owl. Let's see what this is. On the next day, Bart knocked on Apu's door. Hey, here's your new canvas. Bart passed an oversized box to Apu. I'm just trying to click through to get the other stuff down on the bottom. Here's your new canvas. Bart passed an oversized box to Apu, who was standing on the other side of the doorway. Thank you. Apu grabbed the box with one hand, wiping the other on his paint-splattered apron. All the walls in Apu's room were packed full of oil paintings he had recently created. Painting supplies cluttered nearly every square inch of the floor, leaving barely any space to set foot in. Have you eaten? Bart asked. Apu looked back at his sketch on the easel. Not yet. I was planning on going after I finish the sketch. You do realize you can't eat oil paintings, right? Why don't we go have dinner right now? Well, it's still early. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Two of them arrived in the spacious cafeteria. Damn, Bart has a way with Apu. I mean, it definitely seems like they like each other mutually, so it's nice. He's the only one that can get Apu to get out of his room, at least. Giant posters were hung on the walls. They were all propaganda. Bart and Apu took 2 trays and placed them on the slider. There were all sorts of dishes behind the glass counters. They have fried chicken legs today. Apu looked behind the glass. Don't they have those every day? Normally, by the time I come to eat, there aren't any left. Apu pressed the button on the slider twice. 2 crispy golden chicken legs dropped onto his tray. He found an empty table and sat down. Apu took a big bite of the chicken leg and chewed on the crispy chicken skin and juicy meat, his mouth filling up with grease. Bart noticed a new poster on the wall depicting the sky at night. Beneath the brilliant evening sky, a little darkened figure raised their hand to point at the stars above. We are as eternals. We are as eternal as the stars, read the poster. Let's have more of the almu rice from this food stall next summer, Bart said. Apu nodded in agreement while sucking on the chicken bone. Apu was fucking hungry. There was more depth to it than you'd initially think, too. I was pretty surprised when I first started playing. Nice. I do like that. Sometimes things have a lot more deep meaning or deep story than you realize, which I very much enjoy. Is this a bag of flour? What is this? Bart received a message from Sylvia on the terminal, informing him that Lisa had something urgent to share with him. He put on his coat, headed out of the dorm. It was a moonless night, with only a few stars twinkling in the sky. In front of the dormitory building, Lisa sat in her wheelchair under the street lamp, her body wrapped in a blanket. Her eyes were covered with a white silk scarf. She remained motionless under the light, almost like a statue. Hey, Lisa. Bart approached carefully. She turned her head with great difficulty to face Bart. My dad told me that this leather bag was real. Her voice was hoarse and cracked. She took out her red leather bag from under her blanket, her hands trembling. The feeling of the leather, the fine craftsmanship, metalwork, it's definitely authentic. She spoke in pained utterances, a few words at a time. Is this what you wanted to tell me? Bart asked. It's very important. Lisa suddenly became agitated, breaking into a fit of coughing. She had to pause to catch her breath before she could calm down again. Whoever says to me again that it isn't real, I can tell them that it is. From now on, I'll be carrying it with me every day. That dog food and all the other stuff, your dad gave them to you, didn't he? I bought them from him with money. He seems to be some kind of big shot. We met in the summer a few years back. He insisted that I was his daughter. But he must know. Of course he does. He knows I'm a clone, a donor. But he doesn't care. And he seems that he has the power to bypass inspections and send me stuff directly. He didn't want me to pay him at first, but I told him that if he wouldn't take my money, the money, then I'd rather die than accept any gifts from him. Lisa was panting again, looking ghastly. She leaned back in the chair after a while. She seemed to have regained some strength and picked up where she had left off. His price was slightly lower, but they weren't gifts. I paid for them. I don't owe him anything. Lisa started coughing again and went silent out for a long while. Oh, fuck. My dad also told me that Mark and his girlfriend were both caught last week on a dock. They were forced to complete all 3 donations yesterday. Damn, dude. Oh, that bums me out. That whole interaction bums me out because she's being like hollowed out. That's a lot, man. It's so crazy. Like, this game is really surprised. Yeah, we don't know what that 3rd donation is. Yeah. But they had to donate 3 things from their bodies. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of things off of you. And that's a bummer that Mark and his girlfriend got caught. They wanted to be together and live a life outside of being clones. And damn. That's crazy though. So this guy, is it a tinge of like he was obsessed with this girl and wanted to gift the clone some things, but obviously Lisa had a mind of her own and wanted to pay for them, but obviously he could just get her whatever she wanted, but that meant he got to spend time with her. I'm trying to figure out, like, honestly, I'm trying to figure out how upset I am by the dynamic. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a tinge of it that's, yeah, maybe the prototype is actually his daughter, maybe. And then he's like, oh, I gotta take care of the clone out of obligation. I don't know. Wait, can I search daughter? Okay, there's just this one. What other words were in there? Docs? No. Interesting. Oh, maybe third donation? It's number 10, but we already have that. I don't really want to read this again, but I also want to see if there's anything new that I can think of. Girlfriend, doc, 3 donations. Inspections? No. I already looked up delivery, I believe. Yep. Order? So the premise of this game is that you are a guy named Frank who has been commissioned to go into this computer system and figure out how to basically reset it. You're basically here to reset the entire system, but you're trying to repair data as you go so that you can access the part that you need to reboot the system or decommission the system, which is the Hymer AI. But obviously you're discovering the story of why the Hymer AI is here in the first place and what it was doing and the people that it was interacting with. Hymer, can I order 3 canvases from the warehouse? Of course, Apu. And, is Bart handling all the deliveries now? Yeah, he is. There's been a delay in getting a new delivery robot. So Bart will be taking care of delivering packages to your dorm until we get it fixed. Okay, well, we got one word out of it. What is this place? All right, I'm just stepping through all these tiles to make sure that I'm not missing something, because sometimes like I said before, there have been times where something pops up after I've walked over it. So I just want to make sure I'm not crazy. Who is Lisa's father? That's not gonna work. Lone wolf, someone distant from the others, seemingly brave and resolute. She also has sensitive nuanced side to her. Visitors? Art gallery is a... That's not gonna help. Yeah, so like obviously this is just it works on keywords, the search situation. God damn, the door is loud. The keyword search works on keywords, so it just looked up the word visit and it found that. Sorry, yeah, that gate noise was very loud compared to some of the other ones. What is this place? Back in the warehouse, Bart took out the box Lisa had rejected. He ripped off the tape and opened the lid. Instead of a new gift, the box contained something left behind by Mark. It was a photo which had sustained heavy water damage. Lisa had told him that Mark and Nini had been found on a dock while trying to escape to a distant island by boat. The police had suddenly shown up, and they had been forced to jump into the water. The photo had been tucked away in Mark's chest pocket. Bart had no idea what kind of camera they had used or where they had managed to get the film developed. It was a selfie they had taken on the street right after gaining their freedom. In the photo, the two were hugging one another tightly. Though water damage had rendered their faces almost nearly unrecognizable, Bart could still feel their happiness. But then a terrifying realization hit him. The image of Mark and his girlfriend was slipping away from his memory, like sand through his fingers. He could no longer recall how they looked with any degree of clarity. Bart had known since childhood that clones were more than simple replicas of the prototype's genes. They also went through special changes, including alterations to the brain. These modifications made it easier for them to forget the donors who were no longer around. Whether this was to protect their sanity or to help them accept their fate, he didn't know. Bart clenched the photo as if attempting to grasp at the flicker of light in the darkness. In a few months or maybe a year, he could forget everything. The faces, their names, every trace of their existence. That's fucking hella sad. The more I get through this, the more emotional I feel like I'm getting to these characters. Because it's like, you're not even guaranteed to be able to remember the things that you get to do. Like, that's a terrifying thing to think about. That's a terrifying thing to think about. That they can live their whole life and be here to donate whatever they're supposed to donate, and they don't get to remember their friends. Damn. Okay. Hold on. Let me look up camera. No. Selfie? This is a harder story than I had previously imagined this was going to be. I didn't think this was going to affect me so much, but like, man. Okay, sanity. I'm going to look up sanity and memory. Memory. Okay, those ones I've already done. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe you remember? Nothing new here. Is that a bell? I don't know where I am right now in this building. This is also a question. It was a misty morning. Bart left the cafeteria holding a bag of bread. He yawned, still groggy, his mind slow to wake. As he pushed open the door, he spotted several darkened figures outside. An old man was making his way slowly to the cafeteria, followed by some assistants in black suits. The man wore a black hat and a black velvet coat, and gripped a black cane in his right hand. His steps were steady on the damp cement, while his assistants maintained a respectable distance behind him. Bart was startled. Humans rarely visited the care center, and now suddenly, several had appeared. One of the assistants was showing the cafeteria to the old man, smiling as he did so. They all noticed Bart, but nothing registered in their eyes when they glanced at him. It was as though though he were no more than a lifeless puppet. The old man removed his hat, revealing his glossy white hair and sunken eyes. He shook his head, turned and headed elsewhere. His assistants had to tried to steer him back, but he was determined to go his own way. Bart followed them secretly. In fact, the assistants had noticed him some time ago, but they didn't seem to care. The old man arrived at the dormitory building, knocked on one of the doors. Whoever was inside must have been expecting him, as they opened up right away. Old man gestured for his assistants to wait outside, and he entered alone. From behind a flower bed, Bart could see clearly that it was Lisa's room. Old man closed the door behind him. A whirlwind of terrible thoughts filled Bart's head. His breathing quickened, his heart pounded in his chest. He's resolved to rush over and break the door down if he heard any strange noise coming from inside. But his fears were unfounded. In less than 3 minutes, the door opened again. Old man stepped out. He put his hat back on and instructed his assistants that it was time to leave. Just then, a dog barked from the other side of the flower bed. A small puppy limped into view, barking incessantly at the old man and his entourage. His assistants moved to chase it away, but the old man stopped them. He approached the puppy one step at a time, undeterred by its incessant barking. He pulled out a piece of dried meat from his coat pocket and placed it in front of the puppy. Finally, he left with his assistants, disappearing into the white mist. So obviously this is his dad, or her dad, quote unquote. Yeah, we also know something happened to Bart's old friend, but we haven't really been told what. Because he doesn't remember either. He has some sort of thing about that. Okay, so hat. Nothing new with hat. I'm trying to think of what else was in this note that I'm keying on. Assistance? I don't like that he was in there. I don't like that he got to go to her room. Assistant. Let's look that up. No, nothing there. Alright. So we'll just keep going. The sound design of this is really interesting. Because the way that it sounds like we're actually moving around is kind of crazy. By the afternoon, the mist had cleared. Bart found himself back in front of Lisa's dormitory building. Oh. His hands were shoved deep into his pockets, his cheeks tinged red from the biting air. Lisa sat in her wheelchair, leaning against a soft cushion. Her neck was held rigidly straight, while her spine sloped backward. The girls gathered around her, chatting and laughing, but Lisa didn't join in the conversation. Bart took a deep breath and walked over. Hello, Lisa, he greeted her quietly. Bart? Lisa turned her neck slowly. I saw someone. It was my dad, Lisa said. He wanted to take me away so I could be his daughter, a human. I wouldn't have to be donated. Really? That'd be fantastic. Bart widened his eyes. I refused. Why? No reason. He was planning to pick me up by train today. You should have agreed. Lisa rested both hands on her knees, clutching the fabric of her trousers. You don't know anything, yet you're such a show-off, Lisa said. Bart opened his mouth to say something, but before he could, Lisa began conversing with the other girls. They were chatting about the autumn weather and the food at the cafeteria. Lisa even laughed at one of Sylvia's jokes. Bart stood there, frozen, as her laughter filled his ears. He glanced at Lisa again, hesitated, and then quietly walked away. Wait. Bart is genuinely one of the more naive characters in this, even though he did help Mark. He understands the situation, obviously. But it feels like he just is like a forever optimist, right? So he can only think of what the positive of this situation would be. But obviously, Lisa knows better to a certain extent. But how would he, like... But she's already donated her eyes and another thing, right? She's done 2 surgeries. Or did she just give up? Maybe. Because she did seem like she had... I don't know what it was. There was something about her in the beginning of the game where it felt like she was really like her own person. And then after getting Apu to meet his prototype and seeing what happened there, I think changed her mentality about either meeting her prototype or having a plan. Interesting. I just find it really, really, really interesting. Whose fucking house is this? On a cold night several days later, Bart and Apu were back on their way back to the dorms. After an hour of training on the basketball court, they were drenched in sweat and had to put on their jackets to shield themselves from the biting wind. Apu had been running through the cold air for the entirety of the practice. Now each breath he took sent a stinging sensation through his lungs, making him cough uncontrollably. Hey man, you feeling okay? Let's go back and take a warm shower. Bart slung a basketball bag over his shoulder and gave Apu a few reassuring pats on the back. The street lamps cast a row of round halos on the path, illuminating the bare branches of the trees lining the road. Bart, can I ask you something? Apu said. What is it? Could you maybe be my caretaker? What made you bring that up all of a sudden? It's nothing. It's just a thought. Yeah, of course, no problem. Apu didn't expect Bart to agree so readily. No, I was just thinking out loud. It's alright, you don't have to explain yourself, I get what you're saying. Bart put his arm around Apu. The next day, Apu fell ill. Yeah, she seemed really driven, then she was just like, I don't need it anymore. I think we have, but let's do it one more time just in case. Yeah, we searched caretaker. It doesn't show any other results. I've already searched Apu for sure. Yeah. Illness. Ill? Sick. This music is also not making me feel good about the rest of this either. Abandoned cabin. What's this? Frank, this is the cabin where the human administrator used to live. What? Who was the human? Oh, wait, who was the administrator? In the beginning, all centers were managed by humans. However, the mental health of those human administrators deteriorated, making it impossible for them to perform their duties. Hymer 1000 began as an automated program designed to assist humans. As the humans left, we received upgrades. In the end, Hymer 2000 took over all the care centers. I have no knowledge of Hymer 3000. It is possible that this model does not exist. Wait. Bart went to Hymer, applied to become Apu's caretaker, and received a spare key to his room. He pushed open the door carefully, entering Apu's room for the first time. The room was redolent with the smell of paint. The floor was filthy. Uncapped paint tubes were scattered everywhere. The few paintings that had been hung on the walls had been taken down and were now haphazardly piled by the bed. The old easel had been covered with a blue cloth and tossed away in the corner. Apu was lying on the bed, his cheeks unnaturally flushed from high fever. Hearing the door click, he opened his eyes and made an effort to prop himself up and look in the direction of the doorway. Bart? Bart hurried to the bed and placed his hand on Apu's forehead. Here's some medicine for that fever. I'll get you some warm water. This isn't just a fever, is it? Apu smiled bitterly. I don't have much time left, do I? Don't be ridiculous. What are you talking about? Apu looked at Bart in silence. He wanted to keep smiling, but the muscles at the corners of his mouth twitched uncontrollably and froze. I'll get you some water. Bart picked up the electric kettle from the table, fetched some water from the bathroom, and switched it on. Apu's gaze drifted toward the window. Could you do me a favor? You should focus on taking care of yourself right now until you're well again. The rest can wait. Bart pulled up a chair and plopped down next to the bed. Could you... Apu barely managed to prop himself up. Send that painting on the easel to Lisa for me? Here you are, sick as a dog, and you've still got paintings on the brain? After a couple coughs, Apu explained, I want to thank her for giving me the opportunity to see my prototype. Bart fell silent. Apu was starting to resemble the image of someone else in his mind, someone he was afraid to remember. Bart, thank you for agreeing to be my caretaker. Oh, no. Okay. Hold on. Sick of your go live calling me a 5, dude. I'm easily a 6.3. You are, Cog. You are. Oh, man. This is starting to become the fucking... a little bit of, just that a little bit of Eternal Sunshine is popping into my head. Of them getting the memories erased, but them still having the feeling of knowing someone. So I wonder if the thing that happened to Bart's friend is the same thing that's happening to Apu right now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe that's what we're dealing with. Is that he is starting to... He sees what happened to the thing that... Yeah, that his friend got donated or whatever. But this is a little different because Apu is ill. I don't know. Cog, this game is really, really good. By the way, I am thoroughly enjoying. We're getting close to the end though, so I would say try not to. I would say lurk for a little while because I feel like you should read or watch this game or see this from the beginning because the twists and turns of the storytelling is really, really interesting. But yeah. Bart, thank you for agreeing to be my caretaker. Sound of hot water bubbling in the electric kettle filled the air. As medicine do anyway. Yeah, you know, you're good. I'm not trying to kick you out, even though I am kicking you out. But I just want to let you know, like, there's a lot now. We're deep in the end game of this game. I'm pretty sure. And I don't want you to get too far into it. Apu lay in bed, drifting in and out of consciousness. His temperature had dropped temporarily after taking the medicine Bart had brought, but the fever returned around midnight. The room was dim, illuminated only by the soft light of a small table lamp. Apu noticed that Bart had set up a makeshift bed on the floor next to him, having chosen to stay by his side and care for him around the clock. Apu was burning up, but he still felt cold. He wrapped his cotton quilt tightly around himself and fell into a delirious sleep. After an uncertain period, Apu was jolted awake by his own coughing. His head felt like it was splitting apart and his throat was bone dry. He was parched. He wanted to sit up, but he had no strength left. At that moment, a pair of large hands supported him in the bed, propping him up against his headboard. They were Bart's hands, warm against his back. He could feel Bart's breath, which carried the coolness of night with it. Bart handed him half a glass of warm water. After he drank the water and swallowed another pill, Bart helped him lie down again. He then fetched a cold towel to place on Apu's forehead. He let out a sigh of relief as the cold towel touched his skin. He wanted to speak, but his throat hurt so badly that he could only manage a few hoarse croaks. Over the 2 or 3 days that followed, his temperature was never stable, with bouts of high fever coming and going. All the while, Bart remained tirelessly by his side, taking care of him. Victoria, welcome in. Welcome in. We're in a generally emotional part of this. Okay, so obviously some of these images, like these pictures in these maps, have been just digital images, right? Very old bit, like buildings and stuff like that. But these last two, like if we go back to the cabin, that's just a picture. That's not a digital rendering of anything. Like, that's just a picture of a house. Which is also kind of throwing me off, like brain-wise. That this is really, that's just a doorway. Why can't they just be happy and gay and in love? Yeah, I know. Whenever someone fell sick, Hymer was always quick to provide a diagnosis and treatment plan. However, despite the fact Apu had been suffering from fever for 3 days, there had been no message from Hymer. Bart incessantly refreshed the terminal. Whenever a new message popped up, he would open it immediately. Finally, Hymer sent Apu's diagnosis results. The blood test and CT scan ruled out pneumonia. The fever was only the result of a bacterial infection. Hymer prescribed a course of antibiotics and exhorted Bart to have Apu take the medicine as scheduled. In addition to the diagnosis results, Hymer sent another message. Lisa would be moving to another care center for the next day in preparation for her final donation operation. Bart was instructed to help her carry her luggage onto the train. Alright, so fever. Ooh, okay. Hey, what's going on with Bapu? Is it just a fever? Apu's condition is worse than I expected. I need a bit more time to go over his CT scan and blood test results. Oh no, what am I supposed to do now? Just wait? For now, I can give you some anti-fever medication to help bring Apu's temperature down, but keep in mind it's only temporary. So what's the plan? I can't just watch him suffer. Apu is barely conscious right now, and I need someone to make decisions for him. I'll do it. I'll take care of him. Bart, are you ready to take on this responsibility? Absolutely. You have my word. And then there was this one, which is the... Yep. This is to Nexus. Bart, we've diagnosed Apu with bacterial infection, not pneumonia, which is causing his fever. I'll prescribe antibiotics, so please make sure to give him 1 tablet twice a day. Also, Lisa will be moving to a different care center for final donation surgery. Could you please make sure to load both Lisa's and Sylvia's luggage onto the train tomorrow? Damn, so Lisa's gonna be gone. The next day, Bart arrived punctually at Lisa's room. Sylvia had already packed up both Lisa's luggage and her own. Bart put on his gloves and loaded the bags onto the cart. Lisa sat in her wheelchair, still wearing her ubiquitous black leather jacket and clutching her red leather bag. With Sylvia pushing the wheelchair and Bart pushing the cart full of luggage, the three of them made their way out of Hope Residence. A faded sun hung in the gray sky. The branches of the trees lining the road shivered in the wind. All the leaves had long since fallen, leaving only dappled marks on the cement road. A crow cawed near the cafeteria, looking around as it perched itself on the lid of a trash can. Only withered reeds remained in the pond near the entrance to the cafeteria. When they arrived at the train station, Lisa's train was already waiting. Lisa and Sylvia boarded the train. Bart followed them with the luggage. Cabin smelled of resin, as it always did. Bart took out the painting Apu wanted to give to Lisa. Lisa, Apu is sick. But he asked me to give you this painting. Sylvia placed the painting in front of Lisa. As her eyes were gone, Lisa caressed the painting on the canvas with her fingers. What is it? It's a rose, Bart said. What color? Red. Lisa's fingertips trembled slightly. It's beautiful, she said. Sylvia suggested that Lisa change her outfit and help her take off the black jacket. She wore only a thin tank top underneath, leaving her arms bare. Bart's eyes widened as he let out a gasp. Lisa's body was riddled with deep scars, extending from her neck to her wrist to her neck like a spider web. I was born with these scars. It's genetic, Lisa said. Genetic? The genes that my prototype passed to me. Lisa's voice was barely audible. My prototype passed away long ago. Dad was using me as a substitute. Sylvia helped Lisa change into a thick padded jacket. My dad will be sad after a while after I'm donated, but he'll find another substitute soon enough. We aren't unique. Each prototype can produce many clones. There will be other versions of me in different care centers. The train was about to leave. It was time for Bart to get off. I burned all the photos. I don't need to remember them anymore. I don't expect you to remember me, Lisa said. Goodbye, Bart. Bart stood on the platform and watched the doors close. He watched as the train went away, disappearing into the depths of the forest. 2 weeks later, Lisa underwent her last donation operation. Fuck. I mean, honestly, we should have known that. Like, hey, Jada. Sorry, Jada, you're in here in a very deep part of this game where I am feeling all the feelings of this. That's sad. That's like, so she knows because of the dad that she has these conditions because of how the dad's daughter was, and she was obviously made a clone to be able to have his daughter again, essentially every single time. Which is, that's fucking tragic. That's fucking tragic. Oh, look up genetics. Genetic? Gene? Panel? Lisa, you have a new package at the warehouse. That delivery robot's been broken for 6 months. Have you finally gotten around to fixing it? Sorry, we've had trouble finding a suitable replacement, but don't worry. Bart is temporarily handling those deliveries. He'll bring the package to your dorm. Is Bart okay with you putting him to work like that? Bart isn't doing it for free. He gets paid regularly based on his workload. I don't want the package anymore. I'm afraid we can't cancel the delivery at this point. Lisa, your condition has been unstable since the second donation operation. I just need some rest. I'm starting to enjoy the sunlight, but it's getting cold really fast. I don't want to cry today. I mean, I'm trying not to make you guys cry, but this is definitely getting me very emotional just thinking about how this is all working. This is like the flower beds and stuff. Okay. Bart gave Apu the new medicine on schedule per Hymer's instructions. At first, Apu continued to cough incessantly, his throat aching terribly, his mouth feeling dry no matter what he ate. Bart bought him read correctly. Bart brought him egg porridge and fruit from the cafeteria each day, but Apu could only manage to get down small portions. Most of the time, he lay in bed, sleeping. After a few days, Apu's coughing subsided. He was even able to get out of his bed and sit in front of his painting board to create. Though his head still throbbed, he could paint for over an hour without needing to rest. Whenever he inquired about Lisa, Bart simply replied that she had moved to another care center. Let's shoot some hoops once you're well again, Bart said. 1 week later, Apu had mostly recovered, and he could already join Bart for meals at the cafeteria, so Bart moved back to his own room. Yeah, but he needs you, Bart. Why would you move out of his room? That seems dangerous. This man... This is my pattern. Why would you move out of the room? Do you not love him? I thought you were taking care of him, Bart. God damn it. And they were roommates. Oh, I can't go down there? Weird. Why is there a doghouse? I mean, I guess there was a dog, so yeah. Why didn't you kiss him? Already get enough trauma from Love and Deep Space as it is, with more on the way. Now there's this game wanting to fall. Yeah, I know. I know. This is quite a time. Quite a time. Time passed. For Bart, it was an uneventful winter. After Apu recovered, he continued to paint in his room every day, occasionally venturing to the library to borrow books. However, he always accepted Bart's invitations to play basketball. As it was getting colder outdoors, they searched for a new place to practice. In the end, they cleared out an empty space in the warehouse and fashioned a hoop using wooden boards. The hoop was square, but it worked well enough. Before the snow fell, they also built a doghouse next to the warehouse. The doghouse was more of a large wooden crate with a door carved out. Apu tore apart his old pillow, repurposing it into a cushion to place inside. Bart was worried that the puppy might not take to its new home, but to his surprise, it loved it. Time passed. For Bart, it was an uneventful winter. That was, except for the fact that he always dreamed about the events from a few years ago when he fell asleep. At first, he would forget everything that happened in his dreams, but the moment he woke up, then something happened. Oh, is Bart gonna remember his memories? Alright, now we gotta go look at this water fountain. In spring of the following year, weather warmed up again. Apu underwent his first donation operation. When Apu and Bart returned to Hope residence, Apu sat in a wheelchair, his legs covered with a blanket, while Bart pushed him from behind. There were many new faces at Hope residence, so Apu and Bart opted for a less traveled path. This overgrown path lay on the other side of the dormitory building, where fresh green grass sprouted from the cracks between the ground tiles. Bart shared with Apu some of the interesting new happenings and introduced the new friends he had made. Apu looked up at the sky while listening to Bart, noting the chirping of the birds perched on branches filled with fresh new leaves. He dared not look down, for there was a blank space where his left leg used to be. They arrived at the dorm. Apu's room had already been relocated to the first floor of Bart's building. What do you want for lunch, Bart? Bart asked. I'm fine with anything. All right, I'll just snag whatever catches my eye. Thank you. What are you being so polite for? Bart went to the cafeteria to get their meals, leaving Apu alone in the room. Sitting alone in the room, Apu started to cry. Huh. Yeah, I feel like the clones are used just for whatever's necessary, right? I don't think there's like a exact schedule of what they need to be donated for, but I feel like they just get used whenever necessary. Oh my god, we're going to a hospital? Oh, you gotta be Where the fuck is Hymer? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like this. Can I? Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at this very nice reception desk. I'm so excited. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be at a hospital. You guys, fuck. This game is hell-bent on hurting my feelings. Bart returned from the cafeteria, but put the boxes on the table and wheeled Apu next to them. Let's eat. Bart handed Apu a pair of chopsticks. Thank you. Don't be so polite, will ya? Come on, try the fried chicken leg. As soon as Bart placed up chicken leg in Apu's bowl, he realized he might have said something inappropriate and hurriedly took it away. He glanced He glanced cautiously at Apu's face, but Apu didn't exhibit any particular reaction. He simply picked up his bowl slowly and began to eat. Chicken potatoes are great, and Apu said, taking another piece of potato. Isn't it? I know how much you love that stuff, so I made sure to bring some for you. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. I'm just being a friend. Sorry. For some strange reason, a blurry figure suddenly crossed Bart's mind. The way Apu spoke increasingly reminded him of that figure, which sent a chill down Bart's spine. It's all right, Bart said. Two of them exchanged no further words and finished their meal in silence. Bart's slowly kind of remembering the thing that happened to him before. I'm assuming another friend that forgot him. Gonna need some sadder emotes. Yeah, I don't want there to be sadder emotes, but this is not it's not lining up to be the most chill. As Bart pushed Apu outside to get some sunshine, he couldn't get his mind off of the photo. He had had many friends, but all of them had disappeared from everyone's collective memory after they entered their new lives. Someone had once explained to him in detail the changes made to their brains as donors. But Bart couldn't remember the specifics. He couldn't even recall who had told him that. Apart from the one in his pocket, nobody had ever left behind any photos. It seemed as if that photo was reminding him of something glaringly obvious, yet it was something he kept pushing to the side. Bart pushed the wheelchair upslope. Apu wasn't tall, but he was on the heavier side. Luckily, Bart had been practicing pushing heavy objects when he'd been responsible for deliveries. Absorbed in his thoughts the whole way, Bart didn't realize he had taken Apu to the basketball court. A few boys were playing there. The sounds of them yelling and fighting for the ball came from the court. Apu stared at their agile figures blankly. Let's take a different route, Bart said. Switch to the quiet path. As they returned to the dorm, Apu said to Bart, Bart, if you want to play basketball, it's alright, I don't want to do that now. It's no fun. You don't need to worry about me, Apu insisted. Honestly, I really don't want to go. I can just stay in my room. I don't want to be an imposition. You're not. Thank you, Bart. I just don't want you to be unhappy because of me. Since that day, Apu barely went out. Fuck, man. Oh, they're really trying to, they're really digging that knife. They're really digging that knife pretty deep. Oh, they're really digging that knife pretty deep. Because Apu obviously feels like Bart is squandering his athletic ability to help him. Let's look at Brain real quick. Yeah. Fuck, man. He's already a very, like, not emotional character, but, introspective character, Apu is. So him having that feeling of being a burden is awful. And obviously, like, that's one of the things that, you know, I think a lot of people, I mean, I don't want to say it's like triggering in a way, but it's like a concern all the time. There are things that you don't want to be a burden to other people. You want to deal with it yourself or whatever, but you have to realize that people that care about you will want to care for you anyway, right? But like, damn, man, he's already gone through so much self, like, yeah, bad self-image. He already has that thing where he thinks he should have been doing something else because he realized that his prototype was an artist, and he has that same mental capacity to do art. Like, ugh, that's hard. Yeah, being a disposable clone definitely does not help. The weather grew warmer after a few springtime showers. Bart removed the sweater and padded jacket he had worn all winter, opened the closet, and considered changing into something more suitable for spring. His clothes were crammed in the closet like sardines, resembling a tangled mass of overcooked noodles. They also carried a musty smell of camphor and mold. As Bart pulled out a pair of trousers, several shirts were yanked along with it. and a handful of socks tumbled to the floor. He emptied the container, the contents of the closet onto his bed, planning to take his time sorting through it properly. He came across a jacket he had worn last autumn paired with some jeans. He tried them on. They looked nice. Having decided on a reasonable outfit, he stuffed the rest of the items back into the closet. He put on his old sports shoes, headed out of the dorm. Just as he was about to put the key into his jacket pocket, he found a photo there. It was a selfie of a young man with his arm wrapped around a girl. The photo had significant water damage, so it's the fucking Mark and Nini photo. So it was impossible to make out the faces clearly. Bart frowned. He was sure that he knew the people in the photo, but for the life of him, he could not recall who they were. As he delved into the recesses of his mind, it was as if his memories were enshrouded in mist. They were still there, but it was impossible to see anything clearly. Fuck, man. He doesn't even remember. He doesn't get to remember his friends. The fucking apparent love of his life is like in a wheelchair and feels like a burden. What the fuck is up, Hymer? In the beginning, all the care centers were managed. Okay, Frank, you came a long way. To you, this may feel like a leisurely stroll through the past, but for those children, this was their life. After you complete your task, Hope residents will be razed to the ground. This is why I want to leave this memory with you. Frank, keep going. It's almost over now. What the fuck? Oh my god, we're almost there. Oh my god, we're gonna get a photo album. Oh, are we gonna cry? Am I gonna... I hate... Bart dragged the easel from under the bed. Apu instructed Bart to fill the container with washing brushes with water while he checked whether he had all the supplies he needed in the paint box and brush box. Hey, do you know anything simple that I can draw? Bart asked. Actually, I can't do anything too difficult myself. Apu pulled out a few brushes and swirled them in the washer. Nonsense, you're fantastic. Apu paused. Have you seen my paintings? Yeah, they're awesome. I don't really like it when people see my paintings. You should be more confident. You're an exceptional painter. That's not what I meant. Apu tapped the brush on the edge of the container to shake off the excess water. Hey, buddy, are you upset? It's nothing, buddy. Apu mimicked Bart's tone. Hey, let's begin. Yeah, he's talking about he doesn't like when people sees his work. Not the painting itself. It's what you put into the painting. It's the emotion behind the painting, or why you needed to do that painting in the first place. Apu was assigned to a larger hospital for his second donation operation. Bart was always by his side, so he felt less afraid. There was another donor in Apu's ward. They had shared the space for 5 days, but hadn't exchanged a single word with each other. Both underwent countless physical examinations. On the day before the operation, the doctor came one last time to confirm their physical conditions. The doctor was scribbling something in his notebook. I want an orange, Apu heard the man in the next bed speak. The doctor ignored him. Doctor, he said he wants an orange. Bart thought the doctor had not heard him. You're not his caretaker, the doctor retorted. Eating and drinking are prohibited within 12 hours prior to the operation. I want an orange. The doctor went away, and Bart opened the curtain separating the sick beds. Hey, where's your caretaker? Bart asked. Lying on his bed, Apu couldn't see his neighbor's face, but he did catch sight of the gaunt hand reaching out from under the quilt with an IV tube connected to the back of it. Want an orange. Apu saw clearly that the hand was trembling. Fucking can't imagine being in this position. Fuck, man. It's a fucking easel and a paint board and a shovel. I don't like the shovel. Sorry, I'm having an emotional reaction to this situation I've been dealt so far. This game that I've been put into. Before his second donation, he had still been able to move. Apu had still been able to move about on his own with the help of a walker, but now he was so frail that he could only move around in a wheelchair. The doctor advised Bart to take Apu outside more often, as sunlight was believed to be beneficial for his recovery. Apu agreed with the suggestion, and was perfectly willing to go out for some fresh air. Apu never mentioned what had happened in the hospital where the donation operation had taken place. It continued to teach Bart how to paint, but instead of starting with basic sketching skills, He proceeded straight to teaching Bart how to paint simple still life objects. Both he and Bart were now sitting in front of the easel, wearing aprons. Bart wasn't a particularly good student. His lines were always crooked, colors lacked clarity. Apu would watch from his wheelchair, offering an occasional piece of guidance or encouragement, but never an angry word. When they grew tired of painting, they would head out together. Bart pushed Apu's wheelchair to the pond. There was a fish in the water. It leaped out above the surface, creating a minor splash. The trees surrounding the pond were reflected on the rippling surface. Birds chirped on the branches before abruptly and simultaneously taking flight. I was looking at the bulletin board, and you suddenly appeared right behind me. You really gave me a good scare, Apu reminisced. Do you remember what you said to me when we first met? Something about participating in the drawing contest? You said I looked like an old friend of yours, and that he also liked painting. Bart shook his head. Why do I remember that so clearly? Apu drew a deep breath and returned to look at Bart. I can remember every single thing we've done together, since we met. Sorry, did I upset you? No. Apu stopped talking. Apu was different after his second donation, but Bart didn't notice the subtle shift. When he did, it was already too late. Oh, fuck. Fuck! They are always friends. They are always like this together. That's the lesson of this. Is that this is them together. This is their dynamic, and this has happened multiple times to both of them. Oh, fuck. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts the heart. I like it. It's like, it's such a good trope, but it's also incredibly upsetting in this context. Fuck! You gotta be shitting me. Alright, anyway. The puppy survived the harsh winter, but it passed away shortly thereafter. At first, Bart noticed that it wasn't inside the doghouse, so he went around looking for it. He searched for 2 or 3 days without success. Then someone mentioned they had seen a puppy in the woods outside the wall. When Bart and Apu made their way there, they found the puppy already dead. It lay flat against the tree, lips stiff, eyes open, tongue sticking out. Hymer explained that the puppy might have contracted a virus into the long incubation period and likely chose a peaceful place to die quietly away from the other people, fearing it would inadvertently bite someone. Apu held the doghouse he and Bart built together in his arms while sitting in the wheelchair. Using a borrowed shovel, Bart dug a hole in the woods, gently placed the puppy's body, wrapped in a blanket inside. You got to work with the shovel again, a mixture of grass and spring soil, gradually covering the blanket until it formed a mound. Let's burn the doghouse, Apu said. No, I don't want to see it anymore. Puppy can have it. Bart vehemently disagreed. He instead placed the house atop the mound. The mound was the puppy's grave. Doghouse was its tombstone. Fuck! I type funeral. Shit! Starry Sky! Oh, man. Shit, man. This game really fucking getting to me. Screw you. You're not at all interested in painting, are you? Bart sat frozen like a guilty child, unsure how to react to Apu's sudden outburst. I'm just wasting my damn time. Apu pushed down the easel and rocked his body in the wheelchair, struggling to get out of it. It's all my fault. Don't be mad, okay? Mad? I'm not mad. I'm not mad, damn you. Looking at the mess he had made, Apu seemed to calm down a bit. We won't paint anymore, Apu, okay? I'm about to die, aren't I? Don't talk like that. You're all liars. I saw everything. He was right next to me. Can we please think about something else? You saw it too. They took everything from him, down to the flesh and bone. This is what the donation process is. We've known it since we were children. He has entered a new life. Entering a new life? He's dead. That's what. He's dead. His eyes, hair, teeth, his insides, even his skin. That's enough. After the doctor left, there was nothing on the operation table except a small pool of blood. It was like he'd vanished. Apu collapsed into Bart's arms, wailing. Fuck! Oh. Yeah, he's... Fuck! Is that a nervous laughter? Dying! Fuck. Did Harry look up operation? I did. I don't think I'm getting any of these other ones, but I don't know. There's some words I missed, but we're definitely getting all the faces. What the fuck is that? Is that the goddamn light at the end of the tunnel? Excuse me, you guys. 2 months later, while sorting through Apu's belongings, Bart discovered a large wooden crate hidden under his bed. Inside, he found a collection of paintings he had never seen before, including both oil paintings and sketches. Bart had never seen Apu's sketch. He took them out one by one and laid them on the floor. The oil paintings depicted everyday objects: flowers, plants, houses, even the trash can next to the cafeteria. The sketches all featured nude male figures, including close-ups of their facial features, hands, and feet. While it was important and perfectly normal for artists to practice sketching the human form, the more Bart examined the oil paintings, the stranger they appeared. After staring at them for a long time, he finally identified what made them so unsettling. There was a face hidden in each seemingly ordinary object. The curtains, the toilet seat, even the seats on the bus resembled a face. Bart felt compelled to return. That's what the fucking faces are. The faces are all his paintings of ordinary things. Compelled to return the paintings to the wooden crate, but it was already too late. Paintings were like countless black hands, ripping apart the lies he had been telling himself and pulling him into a dark vortex. Inside the vortex were the faces of everyone in his memories. Yes, he remembered all of it. Donors had special alterations done to their brains, but for some unknown reason, these changes had lost their effect on him. Oh god, now Bart's remembering everything. Bart, are you daydreaming? A familiar voice pulled him back to reality. He was sitting in the cafeteria, but the layout was completely different from the one at Hope Residence. Happy birthday! The person across from him had made an improvised birthday cake out of chicken legs and meat buns. I was hoping you could blow out some candles and make a wish, but I couldn't find any. But I don't have a birthday, Bart said. We're clones. This is your birthday present. The person pulled out an oil painting from beneath the desk. It was a painting of a sunflower on a sunny day. It took me 7 or 8 days to finish this. It's my favorite. Why a sunflower? That's for me to know and you'd find out. Now close your eyes and make a wish. Bart complied, but suddenly started coughing. When he opened his eyes, he found himself back in his room. A cool towel pressed against his fevered forehead. Are you feeling better? Bart couldn't see the face of the person speaking. It hurts everywhere. You had a fever of 39 Celsius. Do you feel better after taking medicine? The person offered Bart a glass of water. I don't want to donate. Bart spoke slowly, each word feeling like it scraped his throat. You'll be okay, the person reassured him. You promised you'd be my caretaker. I don't want you to donate either. Bart's voice grew louder, but it only made him cough harder. We're best friends. We'll always be together. You'll get better soon. Oh, fuck you. Ugh. Bart closed his eyes again. Swaying of the cabin jolted him awake. When did you go to sleep last night? I went to bed early, but I'm still asleep. That thing you mentioned last time is too risky, but the field trip only happens once a year. It's too risky, I'm telling you. Do you want to give up? I believe in you, Bart. The person smiled at him. As the train entered the tunnel, everything was shrouded in darkness again. Fuck! That's just me getting my emotions out. %. Flash of lightning sliced through the gloom. Bart and the other person were sprinting through the pouring rain. We should have brought an umbrella, they exclaimed. By the time they returned to the apartments, both of them were soaking wet. Bart had accidentally stepped into a puddle on the way back, so his shoes were caked in mud. Don't wear those anymore. I brought an old pair of shoes. You can have them if you want. I don't think they'll fit. You're hardly in the position to be picky. Bart squatted down to take off his shoes, only realized he was already wearing the ones lent to him by the other person. He looked up and saw them waiting for him on the other side of the crosswalk. Do you really need so much time to tie your shoelaces? He's going through all his fucking memories. And the shoes that he had that he wouldn't change and would not give up, that Hymer gave him other shoes, were from the other fucking Apu. across the road, took out a pack of cigarettes from his hand, handed it to the other person. The money's inside, Bart said. Can't we just give it to them? A person said. No, I've asked around. It's some sort of code word. This all seems pretty sketchy to me. Can we really trick the facial recognition cameras just by adding a few dots to our faces? It's called an adversarial attack algorithm, Bart found himself uttering the strange term, and the other person was trying very hard to appear calm. Are you getting cold feet? Bart went to put his arm around their shoulders, but they disappeared. The world around Bart started to flow rapidly. It was as if someone had pressed the fast forward button. He and the other person underwent an operation in the underground clinic to disguise their faces. They tricked their surveillance cameras, which were installed all over the streets. They bought their tickets with forged IDs. And finally, he came to the train station at sunset. The other person was already waiting for him there, as planned. The train would take them to a faraway city. They could escape their fated end as donors and become real humans, but things didn't go as planned. As Bart was about to walk over, he spotted two undercover cops in the crowd secretively approaching the other person. They were only some 30 meters apart. He shouted the police would find him too, so Bart escaped. He was too afraid to look back. Cops threw the other... Oh God, his other Apu got caught. Chaos erupted at the station. Police activated their electric batons, and after convulsing for a few moments, the other person lay motionless on the ground. So the same shit that happened to Mark and Nini happened to Bart and Apu, unless that's just an allegory for that it happened to Bart and Apu, and Mark and Nini weren't actually real people, but I don't think that's true. Bart abandoned both his friend and their plan. He fled back to the apartments and the care center. He tried to pretend nothing had happened, but he couldn't. He requested a transfer to a new care center, and a few months later sought yet another one. No one was chasing him, but he kept running until his breath became shallow and his muscles cramped. He tried to push that person from his mind, but he was still wearing the sports shoes he had borrowed from him and carrying their cigarette box in his suitcase. He only slowed down when he reached Hope Residence, and that was because he saw him standing by the bulletin board. He approached him cautiously. Are you entering the drawing contest? No, I'm not. I once had a friend who was really talented at drawing. Bart stopped, finally able to see them clearly. Did I startle you? My name's Bart. I'm new here. I'm Apu. Apu didn't just resemble that person. He looked exactly like him. I do need water. Thank you, Teardrop. No clone was truly unique, so Apu became a substitute. Bart emerged from the dark vortex. He gathered Apu's paintings one by one, carefully placed them back into the wood crate. By the time he left Apu's dorm, it was dark outside. Bart emerged from the dark vortex. This is the beginning of the game. This is the beginning part of the game. 1 month before Apu entered his new life, he submitted a secret application to Hymer. He requested to be transferred to another care center, and Bart would no longer be his caretaker. He kept this hidden from Bart, so when Bart received a notification from Hymer one early morning, Apu was already at the train station waiting to leave. Bart rushed out of his room and ran to the station. The station was bathed in the soft light of dawn. Apu sat in his wheelchair, a nurse by his side, ready to help him onto the train. Once again, they were only about 30 meters apart. Apu! Bart shouted, Apu! Apu heard someone calling his name. He looked back and saw Bart. Bart was about to run over to him, but Apu shook his head. Exchanged a few words with his nurse, then shakily stood up with her help. He slowly raising his elbow above his head, he clumsily flicked his wrist, mimicking a basketball shot. A smile spread across Apu's chubby face as he called out to Bart. But the train's whistle sounded, drowning out his voice. What did you say? Bart shouted. It's time to leave. Apu kept waving to Bart, and with great difficulty, he sat back down in the wheelchair. Suddenly, strong arms wrapped around him. Bart had rushed over and pulled Apu into a tight embrace. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Apu caught the faint scent of tap water on Bart's shirt again. He didn't understand why Bart felt the need to apologize, but he hugged him back just as tightly. Apu and the nurse just boarded the train, disappearing into the shadows. Doors closed, train began to move, speeding along the tracks into the dark forest, rounding a bend before vanishing from Bart's sight. Autumn, 1 year later. Bart locked his dorm room, grabbed his suitcase, and walked to the train station. He wore a gray sweater, jeans, pair of old white sneakers. Today, a train would take him to another care center where his caretaker was waiting. Bart sat down on a wooden bench at the station, its surface covered in engraved names. He pulled out a knife and carved his own name alongside the others. Just as he finished, he felt a tap on his shoulder. Turning around, he noticed a dead leaf stuck to his gray sweater. As he reached to brush it off, a gust of wind blew it away. Bart stretched out his hand, but it slipped through his fingers. The leaf drifted higher into the gray sky, shrinking smaller and smaller until it disappeared completely. Oh, do I look at the album now? I think I need to look at the album now. Because I think we're going to reset the game. Warehouse and doghouse. Library. Plaza. Cafeteria. Dorman Pond. Sunset Woods. God, the music's so good too. I'm fucking flabbergasted. This is the Binwoo thing I already looked at. Frank, you're back again. I know you're ready. Please go ahead. I wanted to say thanks to him, but that doesn't... Man. Fucking hell. Repair one more set of data. Oh, I need to find one more? There we go. Last one. Hello, Bart. Sorry for the short notice, but Apu is being transferred to another care center. So your role as his caretaker is coming to an end. At the moment, he's at the train station waiting for his train and is scheduled to depart from Hope Residence in half an hour. I only have like 7 left. I wish I could finish all of them, but I don't think I have enough information myself. Yep. Apartments. Oh, there's one. Hymer, do you have a moment? May I ask you something? Of course, Apu. What do you want me to ask? Could you perhaps tell me Bart's room number? Bart's in room 305. Oh, okay, thank you. Are you planning to ask him to hang out? Not really, I don't. I see, Apu. How are you feeling now that you moved into the apartments? Well, I can't say much has changed since last time. The corridor is still filled with strong scents of toothpaste and soap. Familiar smell of sweat. Smells of summer. Summer. Winter. I'm getting more. Hey, Hymer, the weather's really bad. It's freezing outside. There's an empty spot in the warehouse. Can I move a basketball hoop in there? Hey, Bart. I get that you want to keep practicing basketball in the winter, but the warehouse is pretty tight. Setting up the hoop there would get in the way of the other stuff. You can set up in the temporary spot in the corner for training, though. Got it. Thanks. I'll just shoot some hoops and stretch a bit. Just so you know, because space is limited, only 2 people can train there at once. No official games allowed. That's fine with me. I just want to shoot around. It'll just be me and Apu. No matches or anything else. Gallery? No. Enter? No. I feel like I looked up surgery, yeah. 69. I looked up Nexus, right? Yeah. Library. I'm just doing a last search. I think we're pretty much done, though. Okay, here we go. Just gonna go. Main control room. I need 6 more. I need to do it all. Ooh. There's 6 more. Okay, okay, okay. Decommission. Fall. Spring. Return. Bag. Oh, Ange, you missed a lot. We're almost to the end of this, and I have 6 more to go, and I just need to find them all. But I don't know what other word. And, we've gone through some emotions, Ange. We've gone through quite a few emotions. Paintings? Easel. Shoes. Oh, there's one. Hammer, where's the laundry room? Laundry room is in the White Tower Apartments. Is at the first floor corridor. It's with washing machines and dryers for your convenience. Got a mountain of dirty clothes piling up in my chair. If I don't do laundry soon, you're gonna start smelling. I wash everything today. In hot weather, sweat and humidity can make clothes attract bacteria, causing unpleasant odors. I recommend washing the smelly items separately with the right amount of detergent. Be sure to dry them thoroughly to keep bacteria from coming back. You really need to go through all that. It's just laundry. Bart, I get it. It sounds like a lot. Maintain good hygiene is important for your health. Let me know if you need help with anything else. Alright, I'll take your advice, but first I need to wash these sports shoes. I don't want to be any others to wear. I'm just trying to see what other... Oh, man. Sylvia... Basketball. Ooh. Training. Learn. Nope, not learn. User repair data. Maybe I can just go through some of this. So this was around this time. Tell Bart something urgent. Let's say message. Death? No death. Ooh, faces? Nope. I'm trying to see what was after this. Tickets. Oh, let's talk about tickets. It's only one. Art gallery. Love? Despair. Space. Sky. Fuck. And this is all about donation schedule. Process? Chromium. No. Here's about the other part. I'm sure they could be cracked. Yeah, I don't know anything about this canvas one. Maybe I can look up canvas. Canvas? Notes. Article. Just trying to think what other things. Afraid? Scared. Angry? Happy. Oh, I really want to find out the other things. Shit. Do I need to look up something so that we can do it before we... I thought you were trying to tell me something. Sunbathe? Sunlight? Yeah. Didn't get anything. And Bin Wen was only one thing. It was only this entry. Skin. Leg. Leg! I noticed that there are 2 kinds of chicken legs in the cafeteria. Why is that? Ah, the smaller ones are drumettes. They're not really chicken legs. They come from the wing section of a chicken. Oh, I see now. So actual chicken legs are bigger, right? Exactly, Apu. Chicken legs are usually larger and more tender than the drumettes. We can cook them in all sorts of ways, like deep frying, brining, or braising. I've only seen pictures of chickens in a book and never seen one in real life. Most of the chickens raised for meat these days come from specialized farms. These farms have automatic feeders and water dispensers. They control the temperature and lighting, help the chickens grow in the best conditions. Much like this fucking place. Like clones. Yes. Yeah. Can I look up box? Delivery, I already looked up. I already got these. Only 4 results there. Just trying to think what other things happen in this area. Surgery after donation. Visitor donation. Let's just look up donation again real quick. Surgery. Recovery. Already did. Knox. Caught. That was already done. Special? No. I don't want to see him. Diet? That's just that one. Substitute? There we go. There's one. I accidentally left my new nail polish at the residence. Can you grab it for me? Sorry, Lisa, but I can't bring any personal items from home residence into White Tower apartments during the field trip. Don't worry, you might find a substitute in the shops around the apartments. I tried that already, but couldn't find my shade anywhere. Maybe you can ask Ezra if they have what you're looking for. I might be willing to lend it to you. Forget it. I should have known talking to you wouldn't help. I figure it out myself. Have a good day. If you change your mind, if you need help, I'm always here. Drumette. 2 mentions of shops. We're only 3 away. We can do this. Didn't have much of an appetite. Missing. Stolen. Items. Food. Dinner. Lunch. I'm just looking up keywords. Breakfast. Arrival. Departure. Chicken legs in the cafeteria. 3 canvases from the warehouse. Package at the warehouse. Earnings. Let's look up earnings. Ooh, orange is a good one. It's like me trying to play Contexto. Yeah. We're only 3. I just want to be able to have all of it. We've put so much into this game, and it's been so good that I just, like, I want to be able to get everything. And I don't really, at this moment, know how to get everything. In when? Creepy? Hunger. That one. I already have one for rules. Hold on. Let's look up the faces real quick. There, this one's a puppy. Swindler. That's number 2. Part-time job at the warehouse. Supplies. New life. Shit, man. Additional meal. Squirrel. I think we punched him so hard that he either died or had to go to another care center. Like, essentially, like, Bart punched him so hard that he needed to get surgery and left. I'm pretty sure. Server? Data. Did you see... Hymer, have you seen Bart? Where's the laundry room? Nail polish. Replica. Man, so now this is where the game kind of stalls out because I'm like trying to... Gloves? Just that one entry. Treat me like a kid, hard work, compensation. Mental health? Mean. Oh, this is just it's killing me that I don't have all the answers. If someone, because I have number 35. God, do I want to? I'm gonna look up something. I'm gonna look up note 36 and from this game and see if it's up here. I just want to see if there is a thing for it somewhere where it would tell me what the thing would be. Just so I can get one. But I don't think there's a... doesn't seem like there's a walkthrough for this game. Okay, sure. If you have it, let me know. What can I search? Just give me a word I can search. Let's just get through the last 3, because I would love to see it. Urgent. Damn, okay. Bart, how's it going? I realize I haven't seen you around the apartment lately. You must be very busy. When you get a chance, could you reach out to me? There's something I'd like to talk to you. But it's not urgent. We can chat whenever you're free. Take care. Okay. Chat. That's up whose message to Bart. Okay, the next one is Lisa, between Lisa, so it's 54. Donation schedule, operation. Rest. Dead? Rest. Sylvia. So it's number 54. It's the one between these. Oh. Match. I don't know where you're finding it, but that's incredible. Okay. Hymer, do you have a moment? Hello, Apu. How can I help you? Yeah, I just wanted to ask, does Bart play basketball every week? Yeah, Bart has been playing with his teammates every Wednesday and Friday afternoon since the summer field trip ended. Thanks, Hymer. You're welcome. The team is having a friendly match in the afternoon after tomorrow. Would you like to go and watch it? I'm not sure. I don't really know much about basketball. Apu, you're a good friend of Bart. I'm sure he will be glad to see you there. Maybe next time you can share how you feel with him. Hymer's trying to get them back together again, too? Shit, man. I found a post on Steam. Okay. There's one last one, which is number 61. Hymer, girl. Hymer, you fucking meddling ass bitch. So the last one is 61. Call? How could I not have looked up call? Bart, so sorry to call you so late, but Lisa needs to talk to you about something important. She's waiting for you downstairs. Okay, I've unlocked everything. Let's go up here. Main control room, innermost reaches. Oh, another conversation with Hymer. Thank you. Thank you for coming here. Hope Residence no longer exists, and I'm about to bid you farewell, but I hope what happened here will not be forgotten. These children lived once. I have no way to truly repay you, but I want you to have this. The dream program is? When I was sleeping, I had a dream. I want you to have it. Thank you, Frank. Now go and complete your task. Dream will be activated once the recycling task is complete. What? It's a fucking heart. Frank, I've been waiting for you here for a long time. It's time to finish your task. You'll find a series of supporting components around the heart-shaped device. This is the personality module. Please use the mouse to remove them. Once recycling commences, modes such as action, search. If you have unfinished tasks, please return to process them. Oh boy. How long have I been in Hope Residence? I'm not so sure of myself. I've been here for as long as I can remember. I'm literally erasing his memories. They are like my organs. Do not worry, for I cannot feel pain. I do not have any error feelings. Hymer is typing. Oh. I merely feel a bit cold. Why are you making me do this? Why did you choose me? When they were taking away from me. I merely feel a bit cold. Those children lying on the operation table, they must have felt cold as well. Yeah. You understood what these kids were going through. Nobody liked Bin Woo. He didn't even like himself. But his brother Bin Wen accepted him. Bin Wen was the only person willing to believe Bin Woo. Brothers needed each other. Mark and Nini escaped from the Hope Residence. They were perfectly aware of the challenges they would face, but they still not found. I could have, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I'm guessing he's saying he could have found them and returned them. Why wasn't she willing to? She didn't need anyone to understand why, but I understood why. Why wasn't she willing to? But I understood her. This is fucking hard. This is hurting me as I go. Bart wasn't just a friend. For Apu, Bart wasn't just a friend. For Apu, Bart was the most special. Bart wasn't just a friend for Apu. Oh, you're just twisting the knife at this point. Hello, Frank. I'm the guardian computer Hope Residence. You can call me Hymer. Unlike any other recycle specialist. Hello, Frank. You're not the first recycle specialist to come here. You're unlike any other. You look very much like someone who used to be here. Am I fucking Bart? Bart, you did it! Are you still there? Bart, I can't see anything. I can't see anything at all. Are you fucking... God. Bart, welcome back. Hello, Bart. Home to Hope residents. You'll be living in room 202 on the second floor of building 1. I am Hymer. Do let me know if you need any help. What beautiful paintings you brought. These are faces hidden in every single one of them. You're most welcome. Simply doing my part. Nice to meet you too. All of Hymer's memory has been wiped. So they can't see anything at all. Fuck. Fuck. So we're in Hymer's dreamland now. While Hymer sleeps, he has a dream, and in that dream he sees another world. In that world, Apu, Bart, and Lisa all leave Hope residence to start their own lives. In that world, Apu meets someone who loves him, and they begin a life together. His partner adores the omurice he makes. In that world, Lisa opens a jewelry shop. With her hair curled and dyed bright red, she becomes the chicest girl boss on the block. In that world, Bart becomes a van driver, traveling between cities, with a little tailless dog always by his side, riding shotgun. Wait, but why is Bart and Apu not together? The space probe carrying Hymer has been launched. Rocket breaks through the atmosphere, becoming a brilliant meteor, fearlessly soaring into the boundless universe. In the world of Hymer's dreams, some laugh while others cry. There are countless sad stories and just as many happy ones. It is much like our own world. Oh, Jesus Christ. This was a really good game. This was a 10 out of 10 gaming just experience. I don't know if I could say that it's like a 10 out of 10 just game, but like what a way to build out a story and make you just feel all of the emotions of the characters. And like, yeah, it really caught you in a moment of understanding how this stuff could be perceived, right? Like you think that you'd build this thing as clones as some sort of thing to fix a problem you see, right? To like harvest organs or whatever it is. But there's a human aspect to that because you're not just building weird body parts, you're building an actual person. You're building a person that has feelings and needs and all that type of stuff. And you're harvesting from them in this world. And they all have their own lives and things. Damn. And they were just kids. Or they started out as just kids, at least. Game progress before the final stage has been saved. When you return game, you'll be resumed from the moment of dismantling Hymer. You can use this opportunity to complete other objectives you're interested in. I think we got everything. What a freaking game. I honestly... And that might be my favorite game this year. It's going to be very, very hard to top something like that in the weeks to come. Because that had a lot of emotion to it and a lot of heart to the storytelling, and it let you discover things as you progressed. There was little hints at things here and there, but it never revealed its hand too early, which is the effective way to tell a story, right? Like you could kind of maybe predict that the thing that Bart remembered is someone like Apu, but not that it was Apu. Like they planted that seed of you being like, oh, Bart has these shoes. He's he's never wanted to change them. He doesn't want to go and put a new pair of shoes on or anything like that. But you would never expect that those shoes are Apu's from a previous version of him. That's insane to me. Yeah, I like that Bart ended it. I think that's really nice that he actually still was able to get out of there and do something about it, because it seems like he had a vision after he saw the paintings that he remembered all this stuff that happened, right? So he has a hand in somehow ending the cycle of using these clones, or at least this place existing. That's crazy. But obviously the Hymer, the AI, had some sort of like awakening to itself where it understood what these clones were going through and tried its best to either help them through it or just understand their needs as they go along. Damn, that was a crazy game. I I really like that game.